Welcome to your free English lesson. This series will focus on determiners. This lesson will cover interrogative determiners. It is important to write when you are asked to. It helps you to learn. You can use a whiteboard, but ideally a notebook would be best. That way, you can keep a record of your learning. There are 5 intended learning outcomes to achieve by the end of the lesson. 1. We are learning that determiners are words that come before a noun phrase. 2. We are learning that determiners introduce and modify a noun in a noun phrase. 3. We are learning that determiners give information about a person or thing, such as definiteness, quantity, possession, or proximity. 4. We are learning that interrogative determiners ask a question about a noun. 5. We are learning about the difference between interrogative determiners and pronouns. A determiner is a function word placed before a noun or before adjectives that describe the noun to clarify what the noun refers to. Determiners do not stand alone. They work with nouns to form noun phrases. Determiners anchor the noun in context. They make the noun more precise and communicative. Determiners help to answer questions like, which one? Whose? How many? Or how much? Is it specific or general? Interrogative determiners specify which one, whose, how many, or how much. Interrogative determiners are also known as WH determiners or interrogative adjectives. They sit in the determiner position of a noun phrase to ask a question about that noun. They cannot stand alone. They are not to be confused with pronouns. A quick test to tell whether a WH word is acting as a determiner, modifying a noun, or a pronoun, standing alone, replacing the noun, is to check, is there a noun right after it? What book did you read? Yes, it is a determiner. What did you read? No, it stands alone. It is a pronoun. In English, the interrogative determiners are what, which, whose, how many, and how much. We have already learnt about how many and how much as quantifiers. They are interrogative quantifiers. When interrogative determiners are used before a noun or an adjective describing a noun, they act as determiners. They cannot occur with the articles the, a, or an. In an embedded question, they have the same function. I wonder which book she bought. They could not remember whose idea it had been. Let's look at what. The meaning. It asks for identification from an open set of options. Here are some examples of direct questions. What colour do you prefer? What time is it? Here are some examples of embedded questions. I don't know what time the train leaves. They didn't say what game to play. Let's look at which. The meaning. It asks for identification from a restricted or known selection. Here are some examples of direct questions. Which movie would you like to watch? Which route should we take? Here are some examples of embedded questions. I cannot decide which shirt I like best. She explained which solution was better. Let's look at whose. The meaning. It asks for possession, who the possessor of the noun is. Here are some examples of direct questions. Whose bag is that? Whose lunch is this? Here are some examples of embedded questions. I would like to know whose car is parked here. We were wondering whose ticket this was. Let's look at how many. The meaning. It asks for the quantity of countable nouns. Here are some examples of direct questions. How many biscuits are left? How many apples would you like? Here are some examples of embedded questions. Tell me how many people were at the party. We would like to know how many tickets to buy. Let's look at how much. The meaning. It asks for the quantity of uncountable nouns. Here are some examples of direct questions. How much air is left? How much flour do you need? Here are some examples of embedded questions. I need to know how much money is left. You were wondering how much salt to use. Write these sentences. Use the correct interrogative determiner. What, which, whose, how many, how much. Use the clues in the brackets to help. 1. Book are you reading? The interrogative determiner needs to indicate open options. 2. Student scored the highest. The interrogative determiner needs to indicate a restrictive selection. 3. Of these pens is yours. The interrogative determiner needs to indicate a restrictive selection. 4. Sugar do we need? The interrogative determiner needs to indicate the quantity of uncountable nouns. 5. Jacket is this? The interrogative determiner needs to indicate possession. 6. Countries have you visited? The interrogative determiner needs to indicate open options. 7. I wonder train we should take. The interrogative determiner needs to indicate a restrictive selection. 8. Car broke down. The interrogative determiner needs to indicate possession. 9. Plates do we need? The interrogative determiner needs to indicate the quantity of countable nouns. 10. Time is it? The interrogative determiner needs to indicate open options. Pause the video. The next slide contains the answers. Check your answers. 1. What book are you reading? You should have written what. 2. Which student scored the highest. You should have written which. 3. Which of these pens is yours? You should have written which. 4. How much sugar do we need? You should have written how much. 5. Whose jacket is this? You should have written whose. 6. What countries have you visited? You should have written what. 7. I wonder which train we should take. You should have written which. 8. Whose car broke down? You should have written whose. 9. How many plates do we need? You should have written how many. 10. What time is it? You should have written what. I will read these sentences. Is the word being used as a determiner or a pronoun? Write the number, then write D for determiner or P for pronoun. 1. Which movie do you want to watch? 2. Which is your favourite? 3. What colour is it? 4. Whose book is this? 5. Whose is this? 6. What happened? 7. Which is better? 8. What ideas do you have? 9. How much does it cost? 10. How many do you need? Pause the video. The next slide contains the answers. Check your answers. 1. Which movie do you want to watch? Which is being used as a determiner. 2. Which is your favourite? Which is being used as a pronoun. 3. What colour is it? What is being used as a determiner. 4. Whose book is this? Whose is being used as a determiner. 5. Whose is this? Whose is being used as a pronoun. 6. What happened? What is being used as a pronoun. 7. Which is better? Which is being used as a pronoun. 8. What ideas do you have? What is being used as a determiner. 9. How much does it cost? How much is being used as a pronoun. 10. How many do you need? How many is being used as a pronoun. Here is an extender for anyone who would like a challenge. Turn the statements into questions with interrogative determiners. 1. You are buying a book. Ask about the choice. 2. She borrowed an umbrella. Ask about possession. 3. They drank 3 cups of tea. Ask about quantity. 4. He chose 1 painting. Ask about the selection. Pause the video. The next slide contains the answers. Check your answers. 1. You are buying a book. When you ask about the choice, the question could be, what book did you buy? 2. She borrowed an umbrella. When you ask about possession, the question could be, whose umbrella is this? 3. They drank 3 cups of tea. When you ask about quantity, the question could be, how many cups of tea did they drink? 4. He chose 1 painting. When you ask about the selection, the question could be, which painting did he choose? Thank you for watching this video. Watch it as many times as you need to master the intended learning outcomes. I hope that the content helped you to learn more about interrogative determiners. Please like and subscribe for more lessons. There is a lot to learn, so don't give up. Keep believing in yourself and you will learn. See you next time. Bye.